So we are now in lesson 4, and this is all about the properties of the operations on integers. So again, we are now on our lesson 4, and this is all about the properties of the operations on integers. So in this lesson, you will be able to state and illustrate the different properties of the operations on integers. So unsa man tong mga different properties of the operations on integers. So we have here the closure, commutative, associative, distributive, identity, and inverse. So we have 6 properties of the operations on integers. So the second one is you will also be able to rewrite given expressions according to the given property. So we have here our lesson map, and this is all about the properties of the operations of integers. So part of the properties of the operations of integers, again, is what I have said earlier, that we have the commutative, we also have the closure, the associative, distributive, identity, and inverse. So in here, I'll be giving you this one as your assignment, that you will have to answer this one. You will have to give at least 5 words synonymous to the word property. So I'll be putting this one to your flair as your assignment. You will just have to search, or you will just have to give words that is a synonym for the word property. So, mara na ang udyok simple ra siya, no, 5 words ra that will also help you to identify that they are just the same as the property no word. So this time, we will be dealing with those properties, no? The following are terms that you must remember from this point on. So when we say closure property, we have here number 1, the closure property. So when we talk about the closure property, this is 2 integers that are added and multiplied remain as integers. So the set of integers is closed under addition and multiplication. So again, kung may kana closure property, kung kana siya integers, when you multiply both of them, the answer will always be integer. Okay, so like for example, 2 times 2. Si 2 times negative 4. Si 2 is an integer, si negative 4 is also an integer. So when you multiply them, the answer is still integer. So 2 times 4, negative 4, the answer is negative 8. And negative 8 is still an integer. So kana na part na is what we call a closure property. Again, mo nang gitawag na closure property. So, kung mag-add ta, mag-multiply ta ng mga numbers, the answer will always be numbers. Dili pwede na nag-multiply ka ng numbers, tas ang imo answer kay letters. Dili na siya matawag na closure property. Ang closure property kay kanang when you multiply different numbers, the answer will always be like, for example, real numbers times real numbers, the answer is still real numbers. And we call that a closure property. Ikaduha, we also have here commutative property. So when we say commutative property, changing the order of 2 numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change the value. So, anita sa ubos kay para masabtan. So, nata diri balik ta sa closure property under addition and multiplication. So, for example, si A o si B, kay element siya sa I, or element siya ni integer, then, kung i-add nimo si A o si B, o i-multiply nimo si A o si B, the answer is still an element or part gihapon siya sa integer. Ito mo na closure property under addition and multiplication. Now, when we talk about commutative property of addition, bali-balik taron manimo sila, pareha ra sila answers. Like for example, A plus B is equal to B plus A. Mao ni ang pasabot sa commutative property of addition. So like for example, natay 5 plus 2 is just equal to 2 plus 5. Or sa multiplication, 5 times 2 is just equal to 2 times 5. Bali-balik taron manimo sila, pareha ra sila answer nga 10. Sakto? 5 plus 2, 7. 2 plus 5, 7. 5 times 2, 10. 2 times 5, 10. So, equal yung gihapon siya. So, mo nang gitawag na commutative property of addition and multiplication. For number 3, we also have here the associative property. Again, for number 3, we also have here the associative property. So, changing the grouping of numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change its value. So, bali-balik taron man na nimo sila, dili mausab ang ila value. So like for example, we also have the associative property of addition. So nakay tulo ka numbers. Let's say A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C. So gigroup nimo siya. So kung nakay parentheses, di ba unahon nimo pag-add si parentheses, discerning na sa gawas. So kini gigroup nimo siya diri, A plus B plus C, and sa ikaduha kay just equal sa gigroup nimo si B plus C. So like for example natay 2 plus 3 plus 4. So giuna nimo pag-add si 2 plus 3, the answer is 5. Plus 4, that is 9. So kung unahon nimo 2 plus 3 plus 4, so giuna nimo pag-add si 4 plus 3 kay sila man na imo gigroup, that's 7. Plus 2, that's 9. So again, bisan unsa na group ang imoy kuan, the answer will always be the same. So kung nakay makita ngani, ang tawag sa ija kay associative property of addition, and this one is for multiplication here. Next, number 3, 4. We have here distributive property. So when two numbers have been added, subtracted, and then multiplied by a factor, the result will be the same when each number is multiplied by the factor and the products are then added or subtracted. So we have here again sa obos the distributive property. So we have here A plus times B plus C. When we say distributive, imong gi-distribute. So, A times B plus C. So, si A times B, that's AB. Plus, A times C, that's AC. So, from here, they are also just the same to here. Because this is what we call distributive property. Next. Okay, so the fifth one is what we call the identity property. So, additive identity na po tayo gitawag sa identity property na tayo gitawag na additive identity na po tayo gitawag na multiplicative identity. So, when we say additive identity, states that the sum of any number and 0 is the given number. So, 0 is the additive identity. O saan ang additive identity? Kung may ka na identity, mo bisan unsay number na imo i-plus ana, the answer will always be that number. So unsa may imo i-add sa 2 na ang answer is 2? Zero. So again, ang atong additive identity kay bisan unsa imo i-plus ana, the answer will always be that number. So 2 plus 0, the answer is 2. 5 plus 0, the answer is 5. So ang atong additive identity in addition or the sum is 0. Ibisan unsang imo i-add ana nga number, the answer will always be that number. Kaduha na tayo multiplicative identity. So, kung may multiplicative, we're talking about the operation na multiplication. So, this states that the product of any number and 1 is the given number. So, A times 1 is equal to 1. 1 is equal to the multiplicative identity. Kung may ka na identity, unsa man nga number na kung i-multiply nimo sa 16, the answer is still 16. Ha? O say mo i-multiply sa 16 nga ang answer kay 16 ra gihapon. 1. So kumita na multiplicative identity, no, we are talking about ang multiplicative identity nato is 1. Ang additive identity is 0. Pasabot kung unsay imo i-add or i-multiply, ang answer kay kana ra gihapon nga number. Ha, so like for example, 5. Unsa man ang ato multiplicative identity 1 kay 1 times 5 is equal to 5. So bisan unsay kung unsa may imo i-multiply sa 5, always be 5. So unsa may ito i-multiply sa 5 na ang answer equals sa 5. So we have there 1. But when we talk about addition, unsa may mo i-add sa 5 na mo equals just sa 5. So answer is 0. So mo na nga tawag na additive identity and multiplicative identity. For additive identity, we are talking about the operation addition. For multiplicative identity, we are talking about the operation nga multiplication. Okay. The last one. We have here what we call inverse property. So sa inverse property naragyan po tay gilahi nato si addition and multiplication. So for the inverse property in addition states that the sum of any number and its multiplicative inverse is 0. The additive inverse of the number a is negative a. So pasabot unsa may atong i-add sa number nga mo equal si jag 0. Again, unsa may atong i-add sa number nga mo equal si jag 0, mao na siya ang ato inverse property sa kanang number. So unsa may atong i-add sa 2 nga mo equal si jag og 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. Dili ko 0. Unsa ato i-add sa 2 nga mo equal si jag 0. Naka-check mo na lang mo, kadali lang. May nag-open ako sa video. 2 plus 2 is 4. Again, unsa ato i-add sa 2 nga mo equal si ja og 0. Negative 2, that's correct. So, 2 plus negative 2, the answer is equal to 0. So, again, si negative 2, ang tawag nato sa ija kay inverse ni 2. Umay ko, what is the inverse of 2? The answer is negative 2. Kaya nga naman, when we add 2 plus negative 2, the answer is equal to 0. How about, unsa man ang inverse ni negative 7? Okay.
Positive 7.
Okay, that's positive 7. Nganong positive 7 man? Because if we add negative 7 plus 7, the answer is equal to 0. Now, for multiplication, pag maghisgutan ng inverse property sa multiplication, this states that the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. So, the multiplicative inverse of the number a is 1 over a. So, like for example, unsa may atong i-multiply sa number nga mo equal sa jag 1. Okay? Kung sa addition, dapat mo equal sa jag 0. Kung sa multiplication, dapat mo equal sa jag 1. Kaya ang ato identity kagay na kay 1 man. So, unsa may ato, for example, natay 2. Unsa may ato i-multiply sa 2 na mo equal sa jag og 1. Again, unsa ato i-multiply sa 2 na mo equal sa jag og negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2.
Positive 2.
2 times 2 is 4.
Positive 2.
Positive 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Again, unsay ato i-multiply sa 2 na mo equal si ja og 1. Kung i-multiply nimo si ja sa 2, mo equal si ja 1. That is 1 half. 2 times 1 half, the answer is 1. So, ang inverse ng 2 in multiplication is 1 half. How about 5? Unsa man ang inverse ni 5? So, i-multiply sa 5 na mo equal sa jag 1. That is 1/5. That's 1 over 5. Okay, kung i-multiply nato sila 5 times 1 over 5, the answer is equal to 1. So, that is for the multiplication. Balik ta sa identity. Unsa pag atong additive identity? Uy, unsa ang atong additive identity? That is 0. How about our multiplicative identity? 1. Okay. So, sa inverse nato, unsa pa to? Kung unsa ang ato i-multiply para mahimo si jang 0 sa addition. Again, ang ato additive identity is 0. So, dapat ang ato inverse kay kung unsa ang ato i-add na mahimong 0 ang kana nga number. Sa multiplication, unsa ato i-multiply na mahimong 1 ang answer. So, mo na sa inverse property. So, nung dumana ni Jo. So, we also have here this one. No? Sa additive na to, kay we will have to multiply negative a. For multiplicative inverse, that's 1 over a. Kung napansin niyo, if RA is 5, then R inverse is 1 over 5. Okay? And that's it for our discussion here.